Hey there, Star Soldiers and Star Soldierettes. It's the one and only, Air Zonk World Champion back here again. And I now became the new Riot Zone World Champion too, so that's kind of cool. But, I haven't made too many videos in a while. And there's a reason for that. Okay. So, I haven't had like too much luck with Patreon. I don't even know if I set it up right. Okay, it was just a little experiment to see if I could make a little bit more money making these videos and stuff, but it hasn't been easy. And I thank you guys for watching and everything. It's great, but YouTube, it doesn't pay too much, and making some of those videos can take a long time. The Mega Man Sits and the Karen Conquest ones where I do the indifferent video game their character. Those ones can take hours to make, and I just don't have the time to do it, especially with my one job where I work at a casino and another job where I actually sell video games on the weekend. And I get the question all the time: if you're so poor, why don't you just sell your games and all that? And the truth is, I have sold a lot of my games. In my Super Nintendo playlist and in my Nintendo 64 playlist, you'll see a lot of games that I have where I show the actual cartridge and everything like that. But truth is, I no longer own a Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, or even Super Nintendo anymore. I love those systems, but sometimes you just gotta say, okay, I can get some money for this, might as well sell it and say goodbye and all that. It sucks. Because I really love those games. Space Mega Force, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Thunder Force 3, had to give it all up. But it is what it is, and I still got a roof over my head and all that good stuff. And it helps keep my other job where I sell video games going and all that. Because if I don't have games to sell, I pretty much don't have a business. And it's great too because a lot of games out there are worth quite a bit of money. I nearly got like $75 on that old Space Mega Force game I originally bought for like $10. The stores would say, "Oh, you want this stupid old game that nobody's ever heard of for $10? Here, take it, sucker." But then I turned into a sucker because the person that now owns my Space Mega Force now has a game that's probably worth in the hundreds now. And that's, the paradox. You sell these games and they're worth even more money now today than they were just a few years ago. Everybody says, "Oh, you better sell these games now because there's going to be a crash once this game gets re-released on the Wii Virtual Console, or people find a warehouse of old games. It's going to drive the price right down and your game is going to be worth shit." The problem is that really hasn't happened. Like, man, a lot of these games I'm holding up here, like, the ones I showed off earlier, this is pretty much like over $500 worth of content. Like, this one alone is like $300. This one is like $200. I think this one is going for like $70, $80, and this one is like $200. So my math is totally off. This one, $5. It's a piece of shit. Nobody cares about Starship Hatter. It's big money, and there's always that temptation to sell it. What if you need like a new car? Say you want to get your own house one of these days. Like, I had like a huge Dreamcast 32X Atari Jaguar collection back in 2006. It was awesome. And you can still see some of my reviews and some of my collections on my website, Video Games 101. But to help pay for the house and all that, sometimes you gotta say, "Oh, buy beautiful games, buy Tempest 2000, buy Power Stone 2. 3DO, I had no problem getting rid of that shit. Samurai Showdown was probably the only good game on that system, and I can get that on other machines, so no big deal. Yeah, I also had Neo Geo at one time, but yeah. But yeah, I think the main reason why a lot of people don't donate to my Patreon is because they think I'm rich. I'm not like super rich or anything. I'm not crying or anything either because I'm doing okay, you know. I would just like to see if I can make more videos on YouTube, but yeah, the thing is, making a vlog like this is much easier. I don't have to spend too much time making this. No, I just turn the camera on, talk for a little bit, and all that junk. Very easy. But if I'm making like a, sitting down on hours, trying to edit, crop, and all that, and it's just not worth it, especially if you're making pennies on YouTube. Yeah, literal pennies, Hey, look at what you made yesterday. You made 5 cents. Yeah, isn't this monetization, wonderful now? Yeah, unless you're like a big YouTuber like Irate Gamer or Angry Video Game Nerd or PewDiePie, you're not making the big bucks and you can't quit your job or all that. I'd like to review, more games like this, but the time is just not on the cards because I go to my real jobs and, get that guaranteed money so I can pay my real bill. There's one game in particular that's, if you're an NES collector, it's a bane of their existence. The game is called, of course, Stadium Events. It's like the holy grail of the licensed Nintendo games. This is a game that was only released in very limited quantities. Yeah, way back in 1987. Yeah, Nintendo quickly canceled it. And there's a reason why it's rare. There's a reason why it has that prestige attached onto it. I just know a guy that actually sold my old copy of Stadium Events for $13,000. Yeah, the thing is, back in Con Bravo of 2012, I originally had that copy of Stadium Events, but I traded it up and got some different stuff instead. It was in like very good shape, the label was, pretty pristine, and I think he was happy to get it. But yeah, a few years later, since our Canadian market is down, our Canadian dollar sucks, Stephen Harper has been a pretty crappy prime minister, and you could rag on Obama all you want, but he's doing okay. And so the US dollar is up and the Canadian dollar is way down. So this means that he was able to sell a $10,000 game for $13,000 Canadian, and yeah, he's like laughing it up. And just a few years ago, I remember how people were saying, "What, the game is now at $5,000. Sell, sell, sell," or the game was like at $1,000 now. That's crazy. Sell that game now. But yeah, I also know the person that bought the game, and it begs the question: is this guy foolish for spending $13,000 on a game, or is he like a genius for spending that money on a game that could be potentially a $50,000 game in the future? Yeah, I'm not talking just a card too. I know there's like tons of different collectors out there, like Michael the Game Genie and Grinsey42 that are very desperate to get a game like Stadium Event. Yeah, just to get a hold of that game. Like, I had so many offers when I had Stadium Events. I don't know. When it gets to be like a $10,000 game, do you say, okay, that's it, I don't want the trouble no more, I'm just gonna sell it? So I can see it from both sides. It's $10,000 now, get rid of it. Money, money, money. If you think a game reaches like at $10,000, are you out? Are you saying, okay, goodbye game, I'm gonna get a new car? And I could see if you're a hardcore collector too, okay, it's $10,000, I'll drop that cash and boom, that game is only going to go more up in value. Yeah, that's my question out there. Yo, comment below and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know, I pretty much have this topic on hand because, yeah, a $13,000 video game. Is that what it's coming to now? Are all these games going to be at that price sooner or later? Are we sitting like on a literal gold mine here? Oh, really makes you think. Okay, and that's it for me. I thank you all for watching out there. This is Arizon, World Heavyweight Champion, over and out. And also DuckTales World Champion, DuckTales 2 World Champion runner-up. Oh, Russian Mike.